vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Clearly, America listened to non-white Snow White. Well, we didn't listen when Rachel Zegler demanded that we vote for cackling Cam Harris. Can you imagine what our country would look like after 8 years of John Biden and Cam Harris? Woof! This is not hyperbole. I don't know if America survives 8 years of that level of incompetence. But thankfully, we did not listen to Rachel Zegler when she tried to convince lonely men that their reproductive rights were on the line. But we did listen to Rachel Zegler and her pretend friends in Hollywood when they said, "We don't want your business." For the last 5, maybe 10 years, Hollywood has told half the country, "We don't want your money." And in the year of our Lord 2025, half the country acquiesced to these demands because box office sales last year declined 51%. It's absolutely amazing how that works. You tell half the country that they're racist. You tell half the country not to support your polished turds. And tens of millions of normal people gave Hollywood exactly what they asked for. Over the last few months, we've talked a lot about the ongoing struggles in Hollywood. Some of the damage was self-inflicted. Instead of making classic movies, instead of making movies that are designed to entertain the audience, Hollywood has spent most of the last decade trying to indoctrinate their rapidly dwindling audience. Check out some of these films released in the last 10 or so years. If I had to guess, you've probably never heard of them and damn sure didn't waste your money watching this garbage. 2017, Universal Studios released a turd titled Get Out. It's a horror film that explores systemic racism in a liberal setting. 2016, 20th Century Fox released Hidden Figures. It highlighted the contributions of black female mathematicians at NASA. That same year, Moonlight was released, a film that explored black masculinity, sexuality, and gender identity. 2022, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, a film that focused on Asian American identity, generational trauma, and existentialism. Well, Uncle KC, what the hell is existentialism? Hell if I know, I had to look it up. According to Google, it's a philosophy emphasizing that individuals create their own meaning in a world without inherent meaning. Okay. I selected these years from 2016 to 2022 for a reason. For the span of about 5 to 6 years, woke movies were actually performing well. Even though most of us have never heard of them, these movies actually performed well at the box office. But after a while, people finally woke up. After a while, normal people got tired of being called racist. They got tired of apologizing for their mythical white privilege. As a result, over the last 4 years, Hollywood has seen a massive decline at the box office. And the problem is, I don't think Hollywood will ever recover. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Around Thanksgiving, my uncle gave me a call. He's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s, but as he's gotten older, My uncle's been dealing with various health related issues. Doctors had him on pain management, had him taking all this medicine just to get him to sleep at night, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night. Plus, he was building up a tolerance. Last month, my aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading. She just wanted him to try it out to see if it would work. He applies the CBD lotion every night before bed. My uncle is getting the best sleep that he has gotten in years. He doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. Recently, I gave some of the CBD lotion to my dad. Now, my dad's been installing and repairing sprinkler systems my entire life, so he's developed pain in his knees, probably arthritis. Hates taking pills, so I gave him some of the CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading to try out. My dad's knees are now pain-free, even at 74 years old. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25, BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. In 2002, there were 1.6 billion tickets sold at the box office. 2019, there were between 1.1, 1.2 billion tickets sold. Now, obviously, you don't want to see a decline, but you can absorb a 25% decline. You can charge more for tickets. You can increase prices at the concession stand. There's a way to recoup some of those losses with a 25% decline. What is difficult to recoup, what's damn near impossible to overcome, is a 51% decline in tickets sold. Last year, Hollywood only sold 760 million tickets. Naturally, Hollywood experienced revenue declines in the billions. Check it out for yourself. 6 years ago, they were generating around $14 billion at the box office. Last year, that number was down to a cool 8, maybe 9 billion. That is a massive decline in the span of 5 years. The question is why? Besides their ongoing passionate embrace of the woke wiener, besides Hollywood trying to convince men to be women, besides Disney losing the trust of an entire generation of American mothers, what could be another reason for this drastic decline? Unfortunately for Hollywood, I think one of the reasons for these declines at the box office is a problem with no solution, because they have no control over the general public. I'll explain what I mean. New Year's Eve, me, the wife, and daughter, we went to the movies. It was the first time that Uncle KC had been to a movie theater since 2007. I don't watch a lot of movies, and I normally don't have the time to spend an entire afternoon or evening at the movie theater. And even if I had the time, I was instantly reminded on New Year's Eve why it had been almost 20 years since I had been to a movie theater. For reasons unknown, our daughter wanted to watch the remake of Anaconda. I don't know why, because the original Anaconda from the late 90s was the drizzling shits. But, you know, she's a teenager, and that's what teenagers do. Me and the wife, though, we saw The Housemaid. We both read the book by Frida McFadden and thought it was excellent. My wife liked Sydney Sweeney, who starred in the movie, so we went and watched the movie together. And to their credit, it was a great movie. The problem was the surroundings. To their credit, movie theaters have bent over backwards to make the experience worth your money. The chairs were unbelievably comfortable. The service at the movie theater was great. The accommodations were excellent. They have done everything they can to make seeing a movie in a theater a good experience. The problem is, They have no control over the public, the paying customer. They have no control over teenagers talking throughout the movie. They have no control over the old lady who walks in during the middle of the movie and recognizes one of her fellow yentas from Sewing Club. Gertrude, what are you doing here? I can't believe I ran into you. She's watching the damn movie like the rest of us. She's damn sure not sewing a mask. If she was, she would put it over your face so you would shut the hell up. In all fairness, it really doesn't take much to annoy Uncle KC in a setting like this. I'm quiet, I'm there to watch the movie, so I expect everyone else to do the same, which is exactly why I don't go to movie theaters. The other reason I don't go to movie theaters, we've been conditioned not to go. When I was a teenager, a movie that was released in January, it would still be in theaters in March, maybe even April. Wouldn't get released on tape or DVD until the fall going into the Christmas season. Today, movie gets released, month or so later, it's available to stream. Why would I deal with Gertrude and her compelling conversation about yarn in the middle of the movie when I can just wait a few weeks and watch it at home? 6 years ago, Hollywood was a major supporter of Aunt Fauci. They were using celebrities to tell people to wear those doofus masks. Stephen Colbert was doing the doofus dance, trying to convince people to get poked. I've been boosted 3 times. I've been boosted so many times they're running out of room on my arm. My doctor said next time he's gonna have to boost me in the ass. 6 years ago, they were begging us to stay at home. Now, Hollywood is begging us to return to theaters and no one is listening. Once habits change, and once you tell half the country you don't want their business, it is damn near impossible to get them back. In business, there is a term called customer acquisition cost. Basically, it's how much money it costs the company to acquire one customer. Once you have that one customer, you do everything you can to retain them. Hollywood has wasted the last 10 years spending billions of dollars losing customers. According to User Maven, the average customer acquisition cost in the business of entertainment, $260 per customer. If Hollywood wants to recapture the business of the 760 million tickets that they've lost, let's divide that number by 4. Call it 190 million, which would actually be close to half the country. If Hollywood wanted to recapture their business, it would cost them almost $50 billion when all they had to do to begin with was retain them. All they had to do was entertain them instead of indoctrinate them. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.